Welcome to Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi, a podcast that showcases people you may not know who are choosing to use their gifts to inspire and move the planet.
Thank you so much for joining us on Straight Out of Savannah. I am super excited to have my guest, Stephanie Serone, here with me. She is an amazing young lady, and I think that you will think so as well. So, Stephanie, introduce yourself to the people and let them know what it is that you do.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It is so exciting to be here. I work in the women's empowerment space. So I work with a female-specific modality, which is the only one in the world that's created for women. So everything else out there is created for the way men's minds work, and they process emotion so differently. So I actually found myself in a really, really dark space back in 2017, and I was there like prior to that for probably about 5 years, and I'd lost hope with everything that I'd tried, and I thought that I couldn't get better. And moving forward, fast forwarding to now, by finding that and being able to free myself using that, now I work with women to help free them as well from just anything that holds them back from feeling like they can be happy, fulfilled, confident, able to live and show up as the amazing woman that they actually are underneath their insecurities, trauma, anxiety, overwhelming feelings. So yeah, my passion is empowering women in every sense of the word, and just really showing them that they can be who they want to be, and their past and the way they feel about themselves doesn't have to define them in their future.
That is so powerful. The thing is to be as young as you are and to have embodied that is amazing, and it just makes my heart just jump up and down, and if I could do backflips I would. So in my mind I'm backflipping.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a big thing.
It is. It's huge. Tell me about the transformologist, because that right there has me intrigued. So, and I'm sure that everyone else is intrigued about that as well. But tell me what that is and how you came there.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible. So it's just based on female biology. So it's how we work and what we need to actually transform our perspective, transform our beliefs, and transform our minds and the view of our world around us, how we feel in the world, how we see ourselves, how we see others, because we all have our own perspective and perception and beliefs, and that is our reality. And how we feel about ourselves is only our truth to ourselves, and it's come from lots of different spaces. It can come intergenerationally through epigenetics, through our DNA, in patterns that actually pass down from your ancestors, but it can also come through your own experience in things that you've been through in your life, that you formed a belief about others or about yourself. And to actually transform that can be, a lot of the time it would take a wake-up call. Like it could be a really traumatic experience in someone's life where they really realize, like, have a really big revelation. That's normally where people can break out of that. But normally that's a traumatic thing. So a transformologist uses that same sort of wake-up call, but not in a traumatic way. We go into the space where we can actually change the way we feel about ourselves and change those beliefs to shift that perspective, so that women can actually see how freaking amazing they really are without all of those beliefs and things in the way and all of those insecurities. So they can it's basically removing those filters that we look through, so we can really see things in a really positive way, and with belief and all of the good things behind it, as opposed to fear and insecurity and doubt and all of those things that stop women really living how they want to live and doing what they want to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's profound. That is really profound, because if you think about it, it's almost the way that we've been trained. You know, if you consider and you think about it, even if you go back, like in history, even, you know, it's kind of the way that women have been, you know, for lack of a better,
Suppressed.
yes, that's what yes. And it's like, we're finally now coming to the time where it's time for us to wake the fuck up.
That's right. And empower ourselves and
Arise.
stand up and do whatever it is we want to do and be good
Yes.
role models and break those cycles and those patterns for all of the children that are,
Yes.
you know, coming up, and
Yes.
start something fresh and
Yes,
stop those
because
patterns and cycles.
yes, because the generations, it's time
Yeah.
for the generations to shift. I mean, there's so
Yeah.
much craziness going on in the world. And to be honest with you, I believe that this pandemonium was one of the things that came to help us to get back to ourselves. Because if you notice all the things that are happening now, people are, you know, starting businesses that they want to start. They're getting, you know, leaving jobs that they hate and all kinds of stuff, and actually awakening to, you know, what's out here and what even is in here, really. So
Exactly.
yes. So let's talk about how you got there. I mean, what was
Sure.
the place that you came from to get you to this place now?
Oh, wow. So basically, I was pretty free spirited until I was about 7. I
Mhm.
just, normal little kid, a tomboy, just like playing in the dirt with no shirt on, just had no perception of others and what they thought of me, right?
Yes.
My mum and dad split up, and then we went around Australia, and then we moved to a completely new area, new school, and I got plopped into this new life, and I realized that, like, people have a perception of me, like people are thinking things of me, people are wanting me to do certain things to fit in,
Yes.
and I was just like, oh my God, like I don't fit in, I'm different. And I got a very clear understanding that I need to be a certain way to be accepted and to fit
Yes.
in.
Yes. So that actually settled inside of you.
Mm,
And that was something that you had to unlearn, you know, later.
yeah,
Okay.
I
Yes.
carried that. Like that was then my rule. It was like I
Path.
was given a rule book. Like, here you go. This is what you have to do in society. Like, off you go. Don't go outside of that, because you'll be, shunned and have no one like you. And I think looking back, I think the abandonment from my dad leaving and stuff like that, I felt like safe, and I wanted to fit in so badly that I didn't
Yes.
want to ever not be accepted, and not have
Yes.
friends and not have people like me. Not being liked
Yes.
was the worst thing in the world.
Yes.
So I just wanted to do absolutely everything I could to not be liked, to fit in, have friends.
Yes.
So I just was a chameleon my entire life, just doing what I thought people wanted me to do, saying what I thought people wanted me to say. I would just agree with everybody. I was always overthinking. Do they like me? Are we friends? Like, what are they thinking about me?
Right. What do they want me to say?
Constantly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. Like,
What is your human design, by the way?
I think I'm a generator.
Okay. I just was
I
wondering.
think. Yeah, I think I'm a generator. I only recently got into that, so I'm pretty
Me
sure.
too. Just barely. Just barely is one of those things, is, you know, how we go round and round this bend in this community. You know,
Yes.
today we're doing something else, and tomorrow is HD, and you know, the next day is something else, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, so continue.
Yeah, so I basically just was moving through my whole life. I didn't really have much self-confidence or self-worth. I got bullied a lot. I was like a bit of a tomboy. I had cut my hair short, and got bullied for that. I feel like maybe I got bullied a lot from boys as well. I think maybe I made them feel uncomfortable. I don't know. And then I felt like I was like put in this box as like I was a tomboy. So then when I tried to like get out of that and just wear what I wanted to wear or whatever, then I was like, it was made a big deal of. I couldn't just put a dress on or something because people would be like, oh, like make a big deal out of it. And I just felt like I was sort of really stuck in what other people wanted me to be or thought I was, and like I couldn't get out of it.
Huge.
Yeah.
That's huge, because that is so many of us, and so many, especially women, because we talked before we came on about, I was sharing about, how I want to cut my hair, and same thing, my first husband was like, no, don't cut your hair. And so I let the shit grow, and it was grow it all. And then, when I divorced him, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I did. Cut. Almost shave it. Cut it all off. Because, we be what somebody else expects of us. And that's exactly, what you're saying. It's like, it's like we put our own selves in a box.
Yes. You agree? Yeah, it wasn't really them. Like, because at the end of the day, like someone can say something and it's how it holds into you. It's what it shapes you to be. But I held so much. I didn't have any self-worth. So mine was so low that I held what everybody else thought up on like a pedestal. And that was the truth to me.
Yes. And then when you discovered, what was the turning point for you?
Oh my gosh. So I got to a point where I had no self-worth. I carried that through my adult life. I got into a really awful relationship in high school, where I was treated like absolute crap, and any self-worth I did have was completely depleted.
Yes.
So I had a little bit, and then it was, that was, I suppose those people can tell that, right? And they just prey on those sort of women.
Yes.
So I was stuck in that for a while, and that was just awful. I ended up meeting my then husband, and I was in a job that I was treated really badly in as well. And I just felt like my life was being chipped away. And then I got chronic pain as well. And so I just couldn't live like a normal person. So I was in pain every single day of my life. And I felt like I'd been chipped away at, and I was just this hollow little egg, this fragile person that was sucking all the joy out of everything. And
you didn't realize at the time that the chronic pain was a symptom for sure.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It was like, I didn't realize all those things I just said. All I realized was, I had chronic pain.
You realize I'm depressed as hell, and I feel like I'm stuck,
It's all just like, if I could just fix this pain, I would be fine. I would be happy.
Yeah, well, that's what the doctors tell you.
Pardon?
I said, that's what the doctors tell you.
Well, the doctors, like, once over here, I don't know what it's like where you are, but chronic pain's really poorly treated here. And it's like they don't want to know you once it gets past.
They don't care about that.
No. And it's
they
awful.
Can give you some oxy and, get you hooked on that.
And then they make you feel like a terrible person.
Yes.
And they judge you. And then so you've got pain and judgment. And so many people are struggling with how they feel about themselves because they're dependent on something, because they're in pain or in agony every single day of their life.
Yes. And it's a vicious cycle.
It is. And how is one supposed to break that? And then they feel terrible about their body. So I had all this like hate. I had hate for myself. I absolutely hated my body. I hated who I felt like I was being punished by it every day of my life.
Yes.
And so anyway, it basically got to a point and I knew I wasn't okay. And I tried everything. I tried so many programs. I tried psychology. I tried therapy. I tried like mind body things. I tried all of the physical therapies. And I just lost hope because I was losing all my money. I was losing all my time. I was taking all this time off work and I wasn't getting anywhere. I was just like, there is no hope for me. And I just shut down.
And that's important what you just said about that, because that is what happens to people. They just shut down and they kind of just go through their life, not even, happy or anything. They're numb, really.
Yes.
So
and you do it for it's like a coping mechanism.
Yes. Because if you stay numb and you don't have expectations, then you can't be disappointed.
Yes. You'd already been so disappointed to get to that point. Yes. You can't take any more.
Yes, that is. Yeah. That is describing my life for like a few years ago now.
No wonder we connected.
You get to that place and you're like, I don't know about you, but I was like, God, what did I do to deserve this?
Yeah, that's right. Like, I'm a good person, I promise.
I don't hurt anybody. I don't steal, I haven't murdered anybody. Well, I might lie occasionally, but
I didn't do anything to deserve this torture.
Right. It's like, my God, come on. But yeah, yes. So once you got those wake-up calls, then what was the transition like for you then?
So basically, once I had met the lady that created this process for women years prior, when I was in that really bad relationship. Mm-hmm. And she had really been influential in getting me back on like a really good path. She was just in direct selling at the time. She was not in she really did empower me, but that wasn't her job. She's an incredible woman. Anyway, I was still connected with her. Her name's Maz Sherma. I was still connected with her on Facebook for years, and she had put up a thing saying, I'm just looking for someone to edit some videos of some women that I've been working with, some before and afters. And I love video editing. I'm not a professional, but I really enjoy it. Wow. And I said, I can help. Anyway, she just sent through some footage of some women before they worked with her and after, and all the before videos were just these broken women, and everything they were saying was how I felt. And I was just connecting like completely with everything. And I was like, I feel all the things. Like, it's not just like only that, everything. I was just like, I feel everything they are feeling. Yes. I'm so broken. And then the after video, it's like their whole face has changed. They're sitting up, their eyes are sparkling. You can see they are free of that. Like, you can't fake it. You can just see it. And I just said, what is this? I need that. What do you do? Like,
right.
I was like, please. And she sort of pushed back a bit, and she said, look, because I was just like, I'm in pain, it's all coming from my pain. And she said, I don't guarantee to fix pain. I only guarantee to fix all the emotional issues and all of the beliefs. I was like, what? You can guarantee that? Like, hold up. Like, she was saying it as a negative thing. Like, I can only do the psychological stuff. And I'm like, hold on. I got all this shit going on in my mind, and I've got a whole heap of pain in my body. 50% here. If I can deal with 50% of my issues, that's going to be freaking amazing for my life. And she was like, if it's coming from your pain, I can't guarantee that I'm going to fix your pain. And I was like, if I can feel better about being in pain every day, that's going to be incredible for me. She was like, all right, let's do it. So we did. And I only needed 2 sessions, and my whole life changed in 2 weeks.
That is already amazing, because as you know, being in this field, 2 sessions usually is just the beginning.
Yep. You're just still learning each other's names, and it's like, oh, come back next week. Oh, and you're like, is this the rest of my life? Do I have to do this ongoing? Like, you just hear it over and over again. Do the work. And I'm such an over analytical person. Like, I overanalyze everything. So it works so fast that I was just bamboozled. I was just like, looking for the feelings and trying to feel them. And I'm like, it's gone. Is it gone? Is it really gone? Like, I just couldn't believe it, but it is. It's that quick, but you're not used to anything actually working that fast that
Oh.
it tricks your mind. You're like, nah, this must be like a mind trick or something.
Can't be real. Can't be real.
No, nothing actually is that effective. It's like you're removing the poison out of something just immediately, or a rotten tooth. It's just like a dentist pulling out a rotten tooth. Like it's just gone. You're just like, wow.
Yeah. And once they pull it out, the pain's way less.
And you know that it's not festering inside of you. Like it's not damaging your, like the whole internal being of yourself is just not suffering anymore.
Wow, that is amazing. I mean, it really is amazing, because that is exactly how I want to work. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because there's so much out here in the world, you know, and so many dare I say modalities and different types of treatments
and methods, therapies,
therapies, all that stuff. But to work that quickly, it's like, oh my God. Yes. So did you become certified in that modality?
Yes, I did. I went and lived life for a few years. From that point for me, that changed everything, because I was so worried about judgment. I was so worried about following the rules in society, worried about losing security and stuff like that. So I worked in a job I hated and was treated badly because I didn't want to not feel secure financially. We lived in a place we didn't really like just because our family was there and we were expected to. That you?
In a career I hated for 30 damn years.
Yes, and we do that to ourselves because like our self-worth and like what we feel like we can do and achieve and things is so much lower that we just, and our fears trump our wants. Our fear runs our life, like our insecurities and our doubts about ourselves and what we think we need. So we just basically packed up our whole lives and we traveled around Australia for 12 months.
Nice.
Myself and my husband, we just chucked our little dog in the back and we rented out our house and we sold everything we'd owned, and we didn't have a plan either. We just left.
Love it. I love it. I think that is amazing, because
it was so good.
I was going to say, did it all work out, right?
Yeah. So ended up like that changed everything, because my mind was open to be like, let's just do life now. Like there's nothing holding us back. So we ended up moving. We traveled for 12 months and saw so many amazing things, met so many people. We started a YouTube channel about our travels and met strangers, stayed at their homes, off-grid properties, all the things, and then ended up on the other side of Australia and bought a house there and started, like my husband started working in a field he'd always wanted to try in the mines.
Wow. So you guys are amazing.
Thank you.
I love that.
Yeah, and we lived there for a couple of years, and now we've moved back over to the side of Australia that like we're originally from. Just in the last couple of months. So yeah, when we stopped traveling, I actually realized how much my life had really changed, because I was just so happy living it for me. And then I was like, I really want to be able to do this for other women. And I was like, no, this is the most fulfilling thing I can ever think to do with my life. I want other women to feel the same way. To share it with
that is, supportive in that way.
Oh my God, yes.
I mean, you guys, you sound like you're on the same journey,
Yes. Yeah, I'm incredibly blessed.
Yes, truly. I can see that. It's like, man, that's awesome. Just to be able to get that type of freedom, for one thing, in every way, because, we look at freedom and we think about it. To be honest, I was looking it up to see, the definition of freedom, And so you look at it, you can look at freedom in a whole bunch of different ways. Is it freedom of money, freedom of time, freedom of space, where you are? It's so many different ways of freedom, and you guys embodied them all.
Yes.
That's amazing. think it's powerful because you know what? I mean, how many lives do you know? You know, we
That's
all know that
right.
we've had past lives and all that kind of stuff, but do we really know all those lives? No.
No,
But we
that's
know
right.
this one.
Yes. And it counts. Like
Yes.
people
Yes.
don't think enough of how important it is for them to truly be able to live a fulfilling, happy life and putting
Yes.
themselves first.
Yes.
Sort of like we just react to our day to day, we just get by, we just survive, right? And there's so much more to life than that.
And we do the same thing over and over and over, day after day, day after day. And I just, you know, for me, I don't even like to eat the same thing all the time.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know,
That's right. It's the
you want to,
experiences.
you want to go see different places and, and visit and, you just want to live life, and be happy.
That's right. Fulfilled and to be able to experience what you want to experience and not limit yourself by your own fears
Yes.
or others' fears or a combination of both.
Yes, that is so powerful. So share with the people exactly how you work with the women. Like, do you do a group program? Do you work with them one-on-one? And what's your favorite way to work with women?
So I am really into education. So just educating women on why we are so different and why we need something, right? So that's part of it.
Yes.
But then when and that's a lot of the stuff I share on social media. But when someone wants to work with me to actually change their thoughts, their feelings, their beliefs, and their emotions, that is all absolutely one-on-one. So I don't change or teach anyone anything. I'm not like a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. The woman that comes to me needs to be, it's advanced healing. So she needs to be committed and ready to change her life because we team up as a team. So she actually does, I facilitate her. She does the healing. So she actually accesses the inner wisdom inside of herself to heal.
Yes.
And to change the way she thinks and believes about things to her core. Because if I tell you, you're a freaking amazing, beautiful person, and you don't believe you're a freaking amazing, beautiful person,
right,
it's not going to change in the space it needs to change in.
No, nothing's going to happen.
No, or we can overanalyze till the cows come home of why you don't believe you're worthy enough. Why you don't believe you're good enough? Why you don't believe in yourself?
Yes.
Oh, it's come from this and this and this. And yeah, I don't believe that. And I don't believe that. There's a certain point where overanalyzing and understanding why is enough, like enough. You can't get past that to the healing point, to the resolution, to the solution.
Yes.
You can understand and analyze, but to change and shift that needs something else. So we go straight into the intuitive side, basically it works with the conscious and unconscious minds at once. And it just works within the way that women's minds work. It speaks to the female biology. It's really fun. It's really quick. It's really easy, but a woman has to be completely ready. So I test readiness. I basically test a woman before she works with me to say, look, I need you to do this. And if you don't do it, I can't work with you, because they have to show up for themselves. And then once they're at that point and they're ready, it's just so much fun because within a month, we normally only have about 4 sessions. So within a month, they're completely free of sometimes 80 negative beliefs, thoughts, and emotions that they've been carrying their entire life. And that lasts forever. So the shifts they do internally, because it comes from themselves, they believe it as truth just as much as they believe their name.
Oh, wow.
So then they carry that into the future and it's irreversible. So it's not an ongoing thing. It's you want this shit sorted? Yep, cool, let's do it. You commit to it. You're going to do all the work and do all the things. Yep, I'm going to do it. I'm going to show up for myself. Do it short term. Let's work. Go off, live your life. Be happy now.
So it's like sounds to me it's more like a trust thing for themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like you're guiding them to
Yes.
learn how to trust themselves.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
And putting
brilliant.
themselves first. So like we've all got this
Yes.
part of our subconscious mind wants to keep us safe and alive. That's all it cares about. It doesn't care about our happiness. So when you're going to make a shift like that,
Yes.
you're consciously choosing to push against that resistance, because it's going to come up with all the excuses and all the fears and all that's going to be, you've got to sort of push through that. And I'm there to guide them and go, I believe in you. We can do this. I've got you. I know how to do this. It's just, you've got to show up for yourself and push through that, because I can't push through that for them.
No.
They've got to, where they are now has to be so uncomfortable that where they're going isn't as scary, because they know their reality is not where they want to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is so powerful. They know their reality is not where they want to be. I like that. I like that. I think that is so brilliant. And I'm so grateful that you have come on to share about it, because it's just, I've not ever heard of the transformologist. And that's just like, because I've seen so many different, people have, their terms, what they are. And you see so many different ones, but I've not come across that. And that is like so intriguing, especially the fact that it can happen so quickly.
Yeah.
so
Because it's what women need. It's like, we're just out there. It's like different tools, right? So like, we're just out there trying to screw a screw in with a hammer. All we need is a screwdriver. We're using male-based things that work with male emotions and the way they process things for us, and it doesn't give us what we need. It only works for 1 in 5 women. The rest of us,
that's right. It's
are
like
left.
some coaching programs that they have out there.
That's right.
They jump in there and they want you to push. But we're going to go in the divine feminine, and we're going to allow and flow.
Yeah, we are the ocean.
Yes.
They are the ship.
Yes. And that is wonderful. I love that analogy, because it's like, no, I'm not doing that. No, it doesn't feel good to me, right?
We're not designed that way.
Mm-mm. No.
And we still can be successful and get what we want, not doing it that way.
Yes, that is so powerful. All right, so we have to wrap this up. I just really hate that we got to do it, because I've been enjoying this conversation so much. But Stephanie, share with the people how they can connect with you, where the best place to connect with you is.
Yeah. So I'll give you my link for Linktree. It's got all of my information. But I'm on YouTube as The True You with Stephanie Serone, Instagram _ The True You _ TikTok Uncover The True You. So I've got lots of videos on just teaching us about why we are different and why we need something different, and just empowering stuff, and I've got a free masterclass as well linked on my Linktree that actually gives information on the process and more on my story. You can see my before and after video. It's pretty raw. It's where I was at the worst place in my life. And yeah, just teaching that women do need something specific for them. So if you're finding you're not getting results, that's why. That's
awesome. So I'll have all of that down in the show notes, so you can click on her Linktree and all that kind of stuff, whether it's on YouTube or on Anchor or Spotify or any of the other places.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you can connect with her, and I am super, super excited just to be able to have this conversation, because these are the conversations that I love to have on the show. And this one has been so amazing. I almost don't want to let her go.
It's been so incredible.
It has been so good, because the thing is this is so needful. We need this so much, because women definitely need this. And the thing is it's not just millennial women or Gen X women or Gen Z women. It's all women. We all need it, because we are all at different stages in our life. However, a lot of the stages are repeated, so So it's something that might have happened already in our 20s, and then it happened again in our 30s, and then it's still happening in our 40s. And so we need to fix that. So I think this is just so amazing. And I'm so grateful that we have had this conversation.
Me
So
too.
again,
Thank you.
thank you so much for coming on, Stephanie. It's been a blast. I have enjoyed you. We'll definitely, I'm planning to do a summit toward the end of the year, and I would love to have you as a part of it.
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah, it's something that's been on me for a minute, but I just have been waiting.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to put that. I've just been waiting.
Hopefully you don't wait forever.
No, can't wait forever. But yeah, so anyway, thank you so much for joining us on Straight Out of Savannah. It's been a blast. We have had such a good time, and I hope that you learned something, and also that you have a good time while you're watching us and listening to us. So again, thank you so much for joining us on Straight Out of Savannah. Bye now.
Bye.
I know you've been blown away with the amazing value here today. Now go out and inspire the planet. And be sure to send us a message when you're ready to come talk about it on Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi.